Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Mark Lin. Namaskar. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates the Diamond Jubilee celebration of the Supreme Court of India. Prime Minister launches citizen-centric information and technology court initiatives. 10 countries pause future funding to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine, accusing the UNRWA staff of involvement in Hamas's October 7th attacks. The UN agency condemns the halt in aid. Nitish Kumar takes oath as the Chief Minister of Bihar for the 9th time, coming back to the NDA fold with his alliance partner, the BJP. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Diamond Jubilee celebrations of the Supreme Court of India on Sunday at the Apex Courts Auditorium. Unveiling the 75th year of the top court, the Prime Minister launched citizen-centric information and technology initiatives that include digital Supreme Court reports, Digital Courts 2.0, and a new website of the Supreme Court. The new website is bilingual in format, and that's English and Hindi. And it has been redesigned with a user-friendly interface. The Prime Minister also addressed the gathering on the occasion. Prime Minister Modi also said that the third stage of e-courts, this stage has been approved so that justice reaches the fullest extent in the country.
आज भारत की प्राथमिकता है ईज ऑफ लिविंग, ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस, ईज ऑफ ट्रैवल, ईज ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन और साथ ही ईज ऑफ जस्टिस। भारत के नागरिक ईज ऑफ जस्टिस के हकदार है और सुप्रीम कोर्ट इसका प्रमुख माध्यम है। साथियों, देश की पूरी न्याय व्यवस्था सुप्रीम कोर्ट के दिशा निर्देशों और मार्गदर्शन, आपके गाइडेंस पर निर्भर होती है। ये हमारा कर्तव्य है कि इस कोर्ट की एक्सेसिबिलिटी भारत के अंतिम छोर तक हो और इससे हर भारतीय की आवश्यकताएं पूरी हो सके। इसी सोच के साथ कुछ समय पहले ई कोर्ट मिशन प्रोजेक्ट के तीसरे चरण को स्वीकृति दी है।
Prime Minister Modi said that considering the Amrit Kaal, keeping that in mind, the government of India has introduced 3 new laws replacing old colonial criminal justice system, and he said that these changes, India's legal policing and also investigative systems have entered a new era.
अमृत काल के हमारे कानूनों में भारतीयता और आधुनिकता की समान भावना दिखनी भी उतनी आवश्यक है। वर्तमान की परिस्थितियां और बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस के अनुरूप सरकार भी कानूनों को मॉडर्नाइज करने पर काम कर रही है। पुराने कॉलोनियल क्रिमिनल लॉज को खत्म करके सरकार ने भारतीय नागरिक सुरक्षा संहिता, भारतीय न्याय संहिता और भारतीय साक्ष्य अधिनियम की व्यवस्था शुरू की है। इन बदलावों के कारण हमारे लीगल, पॉलिसिंग और इन्वेस्टिगेटिव सिस्टम ने नए दौर में प्रवेश किया है।
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in his first Mann Ki Baat radio program of this year, expressed thoughts on the Ayodhya Ram Janmabhoomi Temple's Pran Pratishtha ceremony that took place on January 22nd.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in his first Mann Ki Baat program of the year, said that the consecration of Ram Lalla in Ayodhya on January 22nd united millions of people in India as if they were bound by a single thread. With this ceremony, the country saw the power of collectiveness, which is also a major foundation for our resolutions for a developed India.
अयोध्या में प्राण प्रतिष्ठा के अवसर ने देश के करोड़ों लोगों को मानो एक सूत्र में बांध दिया है। सबकी भावना एक, सबकी भक्ति एक, सबकी बातों में राम, सबके हृदय में राम। देश के अनेकों लोगों ने इस दौरान राम भजन गाकर उन्हें श्री राम के चरणों में समर्पित किया। 22 जनवरी की शाम को पूरे देश ने राम ज्योति जलाई, दिवाली मनाई। इस दौरान देश ने सामूहिकता की शक्ति देखी, जो विकसित भारत के हमारे संकल्पों का भी बहुत बड़ा आधार है।
Prime Minister Modi also expressed his happiness at the increasing participation of people in the cleanliness campaign. It is worth noting that at the request of PM Modi, millions of people got associated with the cleanliness campaign from Makar Sankranti to January 22nd. They cleaned the religious places in their area with devotion and shared pictures and videos related to it with the Prime Minister. PM Modi said that the power of this collectiveness will take the country to new heights of success. Bureau Report, DD India.
And in his Mann Ki Baat address, the Prime Minister of India also praised the Election Commission of India for its continuous efforts to strengthen democratic values in the country. He spoke about the increase in voter turnout in India and said that this reflects the growing faith of people in democratic values.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his Mann Ki Baat program said, while the voting percentage is decreasing in many countries of the world, the increase in voting percentage in India is a strong example of the strengthening of democratic values in the country.
आज देश के लिए उत्साह की बात ये भी है कि दुनिया के अनेक देशों में जहां वोटिंग परसेंट कम हो रहा है, भारत में मतदान का प्रतिशत बढ़ता जा रहा है। 1951-52 में जब देश में पहली बार चुनाव हुए थे, तो लगभग 45% वोटर्स ने ही वोट डाले थे। आज ये आंकड़ा काफी बढ़ चुका है। देश में न सिर्फ वोटरों की संख्या में वृद्धि हुई है, बल्कि टर्नआउट भी बढ़ा है। हमारे युवा वोटरों को रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए ज़्यादा मौके मिल सके, इसके लिए सरकार ने कानून में भी परिवर्तन किया है। मुझे ये देखकर भी अच्छा लगता है कि वोटर्स के बीच जागरूकता बढ़ाने के लिए सामुदायिक स्तर पर भी कई प्रयास हो रहे हैं। कहीं लोग घर घर जाकर वोटर्स को मतदान के बारे में बता रहे हैं, कहीं पेंटिंग बनाकर, कहीं नुक्कड़ नाटकों के जरिए युवाओं को आकर्षित किया जा रहा है। ऐसे हर प्रयास हमारे लोकतंत्र के उत्सव में अलग-अलग रंग भर रहे हैं।
India's Prime Minister Modi also urged country's first-time voters to get their names added to the voter list. PM Modi also said that young voters will play an important role in shaping the future of the country. Bureau Report, DD India.
In the latest development regarding the October 7 Hamas attacks on Israel, Britain, Italy and Finland have become the latest countries to pause funding for the United Nations Refugee Agency for Palestinians, the UNRWA, following allegations that its staff were involved in the attack. The United States, Australia and Canada had already paused funding to aid the agency after Israel said that 12 UNRWA employees were involved in the cross-border attack. Meanwhile, the agency has opened an investigation into several employees who have severed ties with them. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has vowed to hold to account any UN employee who's involved in acts of terror after allegations that some refugee agency staffers were involved in the October 7 Hamas attacks on Israel. Guterres implored the governments to continue supporting the UN Refugee Agency after 9 countries had paused their funding. There was no immediate sign of the countries heeding to the UN call to reinstate the aid. However, Norway and Ireland said that they are continuing to fund the agency. The United States has welcomed the United Nations' investigation into its refugee agency following Israel's allegations that 12 UNRWA employees were involved in the October 7 Hamas attacks on Israel.
We welcome the UN Secretary General and the Commissioner General of UNRWA, their comments today calling for a full investigation. As Secretary Blinken made clear in his call with the Secretary General yesterday, we expect that will be a complete and thorough and transparent investigation. We all want to see that. It's good for everybody, and that those who should be are properly held accountable for that. And as you saw, the UN said even including the potential for a criminal prosecution.
Israelis protested in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem on Saturday, calling for the immediate release of hostages. Protesters waved Israeli flags, chanted and carried posters with photos of some of the 136 hostages who are still held in Gaza since October 7.
Tonight, because we want to express solidarity with the families of the hostages and with the hostages themselves. We want to call the government, and we want to call every decent human being to do everything that they can to release 136 hostages that were abducted by Hamas in an abhorrent act of war, an abhorrent act of terrorism on October 7th and before that. We're here to say the very simple thing that every decent human being should be saying around the world: release them.
Thailand and China on Sunday agreed to waive visa requirements for each other's nations to be effective from the 1st of March. Thai Foreign Minister Pranpri Bahida Nukara and his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi signed the mutual visa exemption in Bangkok, which aims to facilitate travel and tourism between the two countries, which was affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. The number of Chinese tourists to Thailand plunged to 3.5 million last year from 11 million in 2019 before the pandemic. Beijing and Bangkok also pledged to speed up the construction of the China-Thailand railway and work together in combating transnational crimes. Still to come here on DD India Live. Relatives mourn the deaths of the Pakistani nationals killed by unidentified gunmen in southern border of Iran. 2 masked gunmen attack a church in Istanbul. Large-scale investigation begins. And after conceding a first innings lead, England defeat India in the Hyderabad Test.
Wherever news breaks, whatever it takes.
Connecting corners, cutting across continents.
Stories that matter from across the globe.
Accurate, authentic journalism that serves you right. From politics to glamour, from sports to world affairs, with a fusion of aesthetics and substance. Introducing news in a new avatar. Experience the world through a new lens. Stay tuned to DD India for an exciting journey beyond borders.
We just don't bring you the news as it unfolds. We get to the heart of the matter.
We don't just present facts. We demystify complex social, political, and economic events.
We break stories that shape the world's present and future because you deserve the truth.
I am Tanvi Taneja from New Delhi.
I'm Ollie Barrett from London.
I'm Nick Harper from Washington, D.C.
Join us on DD India Global Monday to Friday at these times.
You're watching DD India Live. My name is Mark Lin. The Janata Dal United President Nitish Kumar took oath as the Chief Minister of the Indian state of Bihar after he joined the BJP-led NDA bloc. Nitish took oath for the 9th time as Chief Minister of Bihar, hours after he had resigned as the Chief Minister of an earlier coalition, which was the RJD-JDU coalition government. Jitan Ram Manji, Chirag Paswan, Samrat Chaudhary, JP Nadda were present at the oath-taking ceremony of Nitish Kumar.
मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा तथा मैं
In a rare special gesture, Prime Minister of Thailand, Shreta Thavisin, graced the reception hosted by the Embassy of India in Bangkok to celebrate the 75th Republic Day. The event was attended by over 1,000 delegates from the Thai government, business, media, academia, diplomatic corps, and also members of the Indian community in Thailand. The Ambassador of India to Thailand, Nagesh Singh, underlined the deep connection between Buddhism and democracy in ancient India and India's phenomenal progress as a democracy navigating multiple challenges. Another highlight of this evening was the mesmerizing performance of the Ramayan, known as Ramakian in Thailand, in a fusion between Bharatanatyam and Khon style from Thailand. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar congratulated Rohan Bopanna and Matthew Ebden on winning the 2024 Australian Open men's doubles title. The Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong also wished both the players on social media platform X and wrote that the Australians and Indians are partnering on the global stage. While replying to the Australian minister's post, Dr. Jaishankar took to X account and he said that the friendship between the two countries gets great results off and on the field. And he also praised Bopanna for seeding the doubles world #1 ranking. Foreign Minister of China, Wang Yi, held talks with the U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. This happened in Bangkok on Friday as well as on Saturday. The two sides had a substantive strategic exchange on the implementation of the consensus reached by the two heads of state at the San Francisco meeting. They also discussed international and regional issues concerning the Middle East, Ukraine, the Korean Peninsula, and the South China Sea, and how to better handle important and sensitive issues in China-US relations. Finland is headed to the polls to elect a new president for a 6-year term on Sunday. The elections are the first after the country broke the non-alignment stance and joined the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Amongst the 9 candidates vying for the position of president, Alexander Stubb has emerged as the front-runner, with the recent polls suggesting that he has a 22 to 27% support in the first round. The Spanish Coast Guard on Saturday rescued 344 migrants off the coasts of the Canary Islands. 99 migrants were traveling in 2 wooden boats, and they were rescued by Coast Guard and then taken to the island of Gran Canaria. This is where they were assisted by the Red Cross. At least 3 migrants died when trying to reach the archipelago amid the group of 118 migrants who were brought to the island of El Hierro. Another group of 127 migrants were rescued off the island of Tenerife. The number of migrants entering Spain irregularly by the sea has jumped by around 300% so far in January from the same period of 2023. One person was killed after 2 masked gunmen attacked a church in Istanbul. The Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya stated that a large-scale investigation has been launched and that the authorities are trying to find the 2 attackers. The motive of the attack is unknown. 9 Pakistani nationals have been killed by unidentified gunmen in the southeastern border area of Iran on Saturday. Relatives mourned the deaths of their loved ones amid efforts by the two countries to mend ties after the recent tit-for-tat attacks. The shooting occurred ahead of the planned visit of the Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir-Abdollahian to Pakistan on Monday. No individuals or groups have claimed responsibility for the shootings. Iran simultaneously launched 3 satellites. This is for the first time on Sunday using the Simorgh satellite carrier rocket, which was developed by the Ministry of Defense of that country. The larger of the 3 satellites, named Mahada, weighed about 32 kgs and was built by Iran's space agency, and it's meant to test the accuracy of the Simorgh rocket in delivering multiple cargoes to space. 2 nanosatellites of less than 10 kgs each were sent to a minimum orbit of 450 kilometers with the aim to test narrowband communication and geopositioning technology. Nobel laureates the Nobel laureate and Grameen Telecom chairman, Dr. Mohammed Yunus, and 3 others were granted bail on Sunday by the Labour Appellate Tribunal in Dhaka after filing an appeal against the verdict of the Labour Court. As per the order, Mohammed Yunus and 3 other officials of the Grameen Telecom will enjoy the bail until the disposal of the case. Earlier on January 1 this year, a Labour court in Dhaka sentenced Dr. Yunus and 3 other officials of the Grameen Telecom to 6 months in jail in a case filed over a violation of labour laws. According to the case documents, the charges include failing to provide 5% dividend to the Grameen Telecom workers, not regularizing 101 staff, and not compensating workers for public holidays. In a momentous ceremony, the High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka, Santosh Jha, laid the foundation stone of the symbolic Ashoka pillar at the Vaskaduve Sri Subhuti Maha Viharaya. The pillar signifies Buddhist teachings and honors the emperor's role in spreading Buddhism to the island nation, strengthening people-to-people connections. The project, entrusted to Sri Lankan artisans, aims to showcase the rich cultural ties between India and Sri Lanka.
Foundation stone laying ceremony of this pillar in Sri Lanka is a true reflection of the civilizational old linkages between our 2 countries. Many of our Sri Lankan friends consider Buddhism as the greatest ever gift they got from India.
Let's take a look now at other stories making news today. In the Indian capital city, 1 woman died and 17 others were injured after a stage inside the Kalkaji temple in the city collapsed during a ritual ceremony. The injured people have been admitted to a hospital where they are currently undergoing treatment. The local police has registered a case and the investigation is underway. Delhi residents woke up to a foggy morning and extreme cold on Sunday, affecting several rail operations and flight operations in the national capital. The India Meteorological Department forecast dense fog for the next 5 days and cold conditions also for the next 2 days. This is in North India. The chairman of the high-level committee on One Nation, One Election and the former President of India, Ram Nath Kovind, on Saturday held consultations with the former Chief Justice of India, Justice U.U. Lalit, and others. The committee is seeking their opinions on holding simultaneous elections in the country. The committee has initiated a consultation process relating to the holding of simultaneous elections in the country. India's Border Road Organization on Sunday achieved a major milestone by successfully boring a 700 meters Naushera tunnel connecting Aknoor to Rajouri and Poonch in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The new tunnel will serve as a crucial link between Aknoor and Poonch once the project opens to the public. Some unfortunate news for cricket lovers. England came from behind and defeated host India in their own backyard in Hyderabad on Sunday. India faltered in their pursuit of 231-run target. India started off well, but suddenly lost wickets at regular intervals. Ravichandran Ashwin and KS Bharat tried to anchor the innings, but could not hold the fort. For England, Tom Hartley scalped 7 wickets, while Joe Root and Jack Leach took a wicket apiece. Earlier in the day, Ollie Pope did the rescue act for England and helped England take 230 runs lead, from the third innings, that is. He smashed 196 of 278 balls. And with this win, England have now taken a 1-0 lead over India in the 5-match series. A come-from-behind win for England because they had received a 190-run deficit in the first innings. Now, Italy's Yannick Sinner has scripted history, and the world number 4 has been crowned the new Australian Open men's singles champion on Sunday. Here again, a come-from-behind win. Sinner defeated the world number 3, Daniil Medvedev, in a 5-set thriller, 3-6, 3-6, 6-4, 6-4, 6-3 at the Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne. Sinner came from behind to defeat Medvedev after Medvedev took the first 2 sets. This was Sinner's first Grand Slam title. However, Medvedev has now lost 3 times in the Melbourne final, having also lost in 2021 and 2022. And in all, this was Medvedev's 6th Grand Slam final. Unfortunate there for the Russian. Well, Shamar Joseph registered a 7-wicket haul as the West Indies defeated Australia by 8 runs in the second test of the 2-match series. Fantastic win there for West Indies, chasing 156 runs on day 4. Australia were in good position. Steve Smith was doing well, so was Cameron Green. They were stitching on an unbeaten partnership. However, Shamar's spell gave the upper hand to the West Indies. Smith scored 91 not out, and Green scored 42, but that was not enough because after Green went, Australia fell apart. Apart from Shamar, Alzari Joseph scalped 2 wickets, but Shamar took 7 wickets after he had almost broken his toe while he was batting. And that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live. Let's know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on Facebook, X, which is formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. My name is Mark Lynn. From all of us here, thanks very much for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.